Hello and good evening to you. Today I will be performing a traditional Chinese medicine consultation. So we will be doing various things which I will explain in massive detail to you so you can familiarize yourself with the procedure first, since this is your first time in consultation. So what we do is we work on various pulse points. So I will put my fingers to different parts of your arm and detect different rates of pulse. And they have different meanings for the body, so I'll explain further. But I will also be examining your tongue for any deficiencies or swelling or coloration and disformation and anything like that. So I will also be doing an incredibly long intake. Probably the first half of this is just the intake and the explanation of the procedure alone. So, at all, if you have any questions at any time, you do let me know, okay? Okay. So, I have the head-to-toe health care intake form in front of me. Alright, so I'm just going to be flipping through and writing down your information step by step. And I have to go over this with you. This is confidential information of your medical record and health history, which will be kept in this center and will not be released to anyone except when you've authorized it. Okay, so I'm going to complete it thoroughly for you. And that way I ensure that this whole process is done accurately, instead of just handing you this form and then we have a lot of back and forth and waste of time. So, your name, please. Yes, first on the list. Age. Date of birth. Gender. Address. Email. Phone, home phone. Okay, work phone. Cell phone, same. Occupation. Country of origin. Emergency contact. Relationship. Okay. Phone. Any medical doctor. Okay. How did you hear about us? Would you like to receive our e-newsletter? So basically we send periodically updating patients on clinic news and events, providing healthcare info. So your email will not be shared, okay? We don't collect data like that. So the next part is our health goals and concerns. So what main health goal or concern brought you to the clinic today? Alright. How long have you had this interest? Okay, that's fine. So if you have a condition, describe any factors you suspect may have played a role in the onset and perpetuation of it. So have you consulted any other previous practitioners? Okay. Have you tried any of these therapies such as diet modification, acupuncture, vitamin or mineral supplements, conventional drugs, herbs, homeopathy, chiropractor, or other. Alright, and what makes your condition, if you have any, better? What makes it worse? Any other health concerns or goals in order of importance? Alright, so let me just put this here. Put this aside. Now for your medical history. Alright. How would you describe your general state of health? Excellent, good, fair, or poor? Okay. So, please indicate any hospitalizations, surgeries, or injuries you may have experienced. Allergies or food sensitivities. Current medications, supplements. Family history. So, has anyone in your family been diagnosed with any of the following conditions? Alcoholism, Alzheimer's disease, asthma, cancer, depression, diabetes, drug abuse, eczema, epilepsy, fibromyalgia, heart disease, high blood cholesterol, high blood pressure, kidney disease, mental illness, thyroid disorder, psoriasis, osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, or multiple sclerosis. Anyone at all that you may think of with any other condition other than what is listed on this platform, such as parents, siblings, grandparents, aunts, or uncles. Thank you for that. I don't know why they staple these packets knowing we have to flip them and prop them on this thing every time. But here's the other page now. So this is for diet and digestion. How is your appetite? How many meals do you eat per day? What time do you usually eat? Do you ever have an indigestion after eating or stomach pain, discomfort, nausea, vomiting? If so, please describe. Do you eat dairy foods? Do you eat meat? Do you crave flavors like sweet, salty, sour, bitter, or spicy? Were you frequently given antibiotics as a child? Do you avoid any foods? Do you have thirst? How much liquid do you drink per day? Preference for hot or cold drinks? Okay. How are your bowel movements? Do you have diarrhea, constipation, dry stools, loose stools, alternating diarrhea, or constipation, or straining? How many bowel movements do you have per day? And at what times? Do you have gas, bloating, or bad breath? Now this is for urination. How often do you urinate in a day? Approximate guess. Or every, let's say 30 minutes. Okay. Do you have profuse urine, scanty, or interrupted flow? Is it difficult to go? Painful? Okay. What color is it? Clear, light yellow, dark yellow? Do you wake up in the night to go? How often? Alright. Now for energy. Do you feel that you have enough energy during the day? What time of day do you have the most energy? What time do you have least? amazed at what we can find that, excuse me, that other people didn't realize before. Do you feel rested in the morning? Do you dream? Do you nap during the day? What time do you go to bed? What time do you wake up? Okay, so the next section is for head, chest, and breathing. Do you experience any of the following? Shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, asthma, wheezing, vertigo or dizziness, sinus problems, phlegm, palpitations, chest pain or discomfort, or chest tightness. Okay. Now in terms of the skin and the sweat, do you experience any of the following? Sweating easily, profuse sweating, sweating at night, sweaty hands and feet, dry skin, rashes, acne or boils, easily bruising, or eczema, or another skin condition. Does your sweat have an odor? Describe it, if so. Now for temperature, do you tend to feel more hot or more cold? Do you experience any of the following? Cold hands, hot hands, fever, aversion to cold, cold feet, hot feet, chills, aversion to heat, other areas cold, other areas hot, or alternating fever and chills. Okay. Alright, perfect. I told you it'd be a long one. We're chugging through though. So in terms of emotions, okay, how would you describe your outlook on life lately? Do any of the following feelings occur more frequently? Anger, frustration, sadness, joy, worry, fear, depression. Is there an emotion that is more difficult for you to feel? Now for pain or tension, please describe any pain tension you have in your body in terms of the location, the nature of the pain. What makes it better? What makes it worse, or how long? So in terms of vision, do you experience any of the following? Blurred vision, poor night vision, dry eyes, or another eye condition? In terms of hearing, do you experience any of the following? Ear ringing, ear aches, or popping? Okay, that was recent. Okay. Oh, for the eye. Okay. Okay, thank you for adding that. Just got some pen in my hand. It's okay. In terms of taste, do you ever get a particular taste in your mouth, like a bitter, metallic, sweet, or sour taste? Alright, and this is something else we don't need. For sleep, how easy is it for you to fall asleep? Do you wake up at night? If so, what wakes you? This we don't need to know. We don't need to know. Finally, is there anything else you feel is important that hasn't been addressed on this form? Okay. So I'm just going to quickly skim this. Basically, your signature below acknowledges that you understand that traditional Chinese medicine is not covered by provincial government, though may be covered by private insurance plans. TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, may also be tax deductible. The fees and services have been clarified in advance. Payments due at the end of each visit. Does not bill insurance company directly. A cash check, Interact Visa, MasterCard are acceptable methods of payment. 24 hours notice is required when canceling or changing your appointment. Otherwise, I understand I'll be charged 50% of the missed appointment fee. items purchased are non-refundable, whether or not they've been opened. Have you recognized that a TCM is not an isolated system of care, that practitioners welcome teamwork with NDs, MDs, DCs, RMTs, and other health practitioners? Okay. You consent. Okay. Great. So, finally, the informed consent as a patient. I hereby acknowledge I am willing to provide my practitioner with the information necessary to fully understand my medical history, presenting symptoms and health goals I wish to achieve, and work together, thereby consent to a thorough case history and TCM diagnosis. I understand that the center will keep a record of personal health information provided to me. This record will be kept confidential and not be released to others unless so directed by myself or required by law. I understand that the center will act as a health information custodian for my personal health information. If I am seeing more than one practitioner at the center, I am blank for them to share because that's my file is deemed necessary by the practitioners to ensure that I receive the care most appropriate for my condition. Just giving it the right fast so you understand. I understand that the TCM can be employed in conjunction with other forms of therapy and need not consider exclusively beneficial, and acknowledge that one method of treatment need not be chosen over others, and that various methods often work best in conjunction with one another. I recognize that even the gentlest forms of treatment potentially have their risks and complications. The risks associated with TCM include, but not limited to, aggravation of pre-existing symptoms, allergic reactions, disturbance or interactions with prescription medications, and pain, bruising, fainting, or injuring from acupuncture. As with all forms of therapy, I understand TCM also has its limitations. Thus, I understand that the results are not guaranteed, nor do I expect my practitioner at the TCM to be able to anticipate and explain all risks and complications prior to treatment. With acknowledge I voluntarily consent TCM, and I intend for this consent form to cover my entire course of treatment. I understand that I'm free to withdraw my consent at any time. Understood? Okay. So, I'll print your name down, the date, and please sign here. Thank you very much. Right, it is complete. Now, I don't need this pen anymore, but now we go over how tongue diagnosis works. Alright, so this is the long, boring part, and then I'm going to go over it and then do it on you, and then I'm going to go over after the pulse point and then do it on you, and then we will be complete, okay? Alright, so I'm going to be using chopsticks to evaluate your tongue today, alright? So don't be alarmed if I suddenly stick an object in your mouth. So basically I'm just going to skim over this packet with basic information, okay? I've done this a million times, so I know what I'm doing. Tongue diagnosis is another primary method, and this is directly from acupuncture.com if you're interested. It's another primary method in Chinese medicine, which I'll call CM from now on to shorten it. So TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, CM, Chinese medicine. For understanding what is happening inside the human body, it is the other MRI of traditional medicinal systems. Okay. I have to educate first-timers on this, so it's part of my job. As with the pulse, there are general qualities of tongue that show how the body is doing on a macro level, and specific qualities that zoom in on a particular organ system of the body. So in CM, each type of tongue quality relates to a diagnosis as well as physical and emotional mental symptoms. So a swollen tongue indicates a qi deficiency. If the tongue swells sufficiently, it will press against the teeth, creating teeth marks, which is called a scalloped tongue, okay? Smaller thin tongue can indicate either blood deficiency or yin deficiency. So in China, basically yin, yang, qi. You've heard of those before, right? Of the balance and the harmony of the body's systems. So the tongue body color indicates the body's internal temperature. Normal tongue color shows up as light red or pink, okay? So you're aware if I tell you your tongue is blue, purple, something's wrong, right? And I'll know, and I'll tell you at the very end what's going on, okay? Perfect. So purple tongue, here we go, indicates blood stagnation or insufficient blood circulation. So the coating in the tongue primarily reflects the coating and lining of the digestive system. So you know when tongues are like gray, usually people assume they don't like brush their tongue, but that's not always the case. It's not only just bacteria. A normal tongue has a thin white coat which reflects a healthy lining of the digestive system and normal gut flora. So when you see someone with a flat out, perfect pink tongue, it's not. A thick tongue coat indicates that digestion is sluggish. A thick white coat points to an issue of cold in the GI tract. A thick yellow coat indicates heat or inflammation in the GI tract. Okay. Peeled or cracked tongue indicates is the theater center. Center stage is the stomach and spleen. The right side to your left side is the liver. The right side on you, my left side, is the gallbladder. The tip edge here is the lungs, and the very tip is the heart, okay? Pretty easy, straightforward diagrams and pictures. So basically some more diagrams and charts from the side that indicates a normal tongue, which is mostly pink, but still should have a thin layer. You know, it cannot be like some tongues are kind of like this, or I guess like this, and it's not, or I should say like this or this, and it's an issue. You know, no one's tongue should have no white on it, you know. But that's a normal tongue. There's G deficiency, which is like scalloping. If you look at mine, you can see scalloping, but that's mostly because my teeth are overcrowded. G deficiency, fatigue, poor appetite, spontaneous sweating, shortness of breath, overthinking, and worry. Sounds like me. Heat. So again, that really red, yellow tongue is feeling hot, sweating easily, thirsty, constipated, irritable, and bad-tempered, and skin problems. Kind of a dull pink is damp retention, bloated, fullness in chest and abdomen, feeling heavy and lethargic. Blood stasis is a purple tongue with a kind of spottiness on it. It's with cold limbs, varicose veins, painful legs, headaches, chest pain, liver spots, lack of skin luster. So a tongue like this, with a thin white coating and a red tip. So again, the damp retention is a white greasy coating and a swollen tongue. The heat is a red tongue. The G deficiency is a pale tongue with a few red spots, teeth marks, and thin white coating. It means the red tip in the G stagnation means stress, tendency to be depressed and upset, unstable emotional state, and PMT. Damp heat with a yellow greasy coating and a red tongue. Skin problems, urinary infections, clammy skin, angry, and uncomfortable. So a yang deficiency is a thick white coating with a pale swollen tongue, and that indicates feeling cold easily, pale complexion, back pain, tendency to panic, emotionally low, impotence, and infertility. A yin deficiency, little to no coating, cracks, and a red tongue. Those smell the worst because the cracks hold bacteria and dryness is bacteria-inducing. Hot flushes, sweat at night, insomnia, irritable, ringing in the ears, and menopause. And a blood deficiency is little to no coating and a pale tongue, dizziness, fatigue, palpitations, poor concentration and memory, insomnia, and women's problems. So which tongue are you? We'll find out. You're sticking your tongue out now. Well, I will be able to determine just by looking at it, but I need to kind of further inspect and push it down and press on it and see all sides of it. Alright, and like I said, different organ systems for different parts. So one of the benefits of tongue diagnosis is the ability to help us make a differential diagnosis which identifies the cause of a particular symptom. For example, if someone has low back pain, that pain could be caused by a number of different factors. Differential diagnosis identifies which factors are more likely causing the pain, okay? As I've stated already, a lot of this is just kind of repetitive content, but it's a nice packet to study from. I'll give it to you to take with at home. If the low back pain is dull, for example, the back feels weak and very cold, and the patient feels generally drained and tired, and the tongue is pale, swollen, and has a thick white coat, it's a case of yang deficiency, what we call, which just means that there's not enough internal warmth to heat the muscles and support your proper circulation to your lower back, okay? So depending on differential diagnosis, the acupuncturist or TCM therapist will then select the appropriate acupuncture points, herbal medicinal formulas, and dietary lifestyle recommendations. I can recommend you only herbal formulas, okay? I'm not an acupuncturist at any way of the sense, but if you go to get acupuncture treatment, they will do that on you as well, alright? And I will recommend you dietary and lifestyle changes, which kind of mix Basically, the tongue can be a great tool for better understanding the connection between body, mind, and lifestyle behaviors. For herbalists, the tongue helps us select the proper herbal formula. Really, we're just all about natural remedies here. We don't prescribe. And anything we say or do is not set in stone. Your tongue may be like that now, but is it going to be tomorrow? We don't know. We only know if it's always been like that, and most likely you never know how your tongue really has been looking. So basically, we would ask you the following questions. Do you typically experience stress, anger, irritation, frustration frequently or easily? When stressed, do you get headaches? Does your stress tend to collect in your upper back, shoulders, and neck? Do you tend to feel a lot more relaxed, happy, and energized after exercise or after a couple of drinks? Honestly, that's only if I see a problem, and then I would indicate these questions. We pretty much know most of who you are as a person based on the initial form you just filled out, okay? These symptoms are all related to heat and blood stagnation in the liver and liver meridian. A classic herbal remedy for this problem is modified free easy wonder formula, or Xiao Wei Xiao Yao San. So it's just another example. I'm rolling my eyes because these are just for your information, an example of a session with us, how it could go. Like, if you have this, then you have this, and then we do this. If someone is stressed and the tongue is swollen and scalped and pale color, especially in the spleen stomach position, the person would then ask the patient the following questions. Do you worry a lot or have obsessive or ruminating thoughts? Okay, just another example we have to read. Do you tend to feel even more tired after exercise and sleepy and foggy-headed after a couple of drinks? Of course, drinking would be a long-term issue that could cause other issues, and we may be able to see that as well, such as in the liver section of your tongue. Just like in reflexology with the feet and the hands, we see problem areas, or we feel them, I should say. The tongue just allows us to really see it. The symptoms are all related to qi deficiency and cold in the spleen, stomach, organs, and meridians. A classic herbal remedy for this problem is for gentleman formula, or Sishun Sitang. Okay, so that's that. So I will be checking your tongue, and I will be writing in my own little notebook kind of your tongue, your information, your diagnosis. I use that word very loosely because we don't diagnose. I will be using these chopsticks. Okay, let me just grab my gloves first. Let me put them on. Yeah, most of this, as you can tell, is writing rather than doing. It's pretty straightforward. Oops. It's okay. So if you can do me a favor and open up your mouth and point your tongue down as far as you can for as long as possible. This is a blunt end tip, so it won't be uncomfortable. I just do a little bit of pressing and pushing, palpating. If you have to swallow, let me know so I can pull this out of your mouth. Okay. I'm just going to be silent for a while I do this because I have to see different parts, feel around, and go in. Yeah, as far down as you can, so I can reach as far back as possible to see all parts of it. If you could tilt your head more down so I can see. There we go. If you have to gag, let me know if it triggers you in any way. It may be a bit uncomfortable the first time to have someone poking a stick this far in the first now you can relax and just leave it in your mouth as is. Just resting like this. Just resting position. Do not stick it out. Do not stick it back. Just keep your mouth wide open in your jaw. There we go. You're doing good. I'm almost done. Okay, can you twirl your tongue back and forth? Okay, put it on one side and the other side. Now lift your tongue to the roof of your mouth if you can. If not, that's fine. Still have to check it down there anyway. Just lean your head. Okay, now stick it out and lift it up. Keeping your mouth open. Okay. Stick it out and twirl it. And the other way. Okay. Now push your tongue as far back to the throat as possible. Now at any time that I poked you, did it feel uncomfortable? Did it hurt in any way? Only when I went near the back, that's fine. Let me see your tongue again. There's no extra redness or swelling to it. It looks pretty good. To be honest, I'm seeing a bit of yellow, but it's nothing bad. Did you eat anything that could cause that? Turmeric? Okay, you're fine. It's just food. Yeah, but other than that, I don't see anything going on that would concern me, to be completely honest. So you are good on that. I'm just gonna write a few notes and observations that you don't need to know. It's just medicinal, clinical, doctor stuff. Good. So basically, we're going to go over pulse diagnosis. The pulse is measured in both Western medicine and Chinese medicine, but there are key differences. In Western medicine, we typically measure heart rate, which is taking blood pressure as part of a standard physical. In Chinese medicine, pulse diagnosis is a significantly more developed art form, tool which practitioners use to assess health of all major organ systems of the body. In a sense, pulse diagnosis is like the MRI of traditional medicinal systems. Before modern imaging techniques, healthcare practitioners needed ways of evaluating what was happening inside the body of their patients. Although technology has developed significantly over time, pulse diagnosis remains a very helpful tool in assessment and diagnosis. This is just a blog about physical health by Nadia Bodili, in case you were interested, okay? So an acupuncturist look for this when they check for pulse. In addition to assessing heart rate and radial pulse, the pulse felt next to the wrist. Traditional pulse diagnosis also assesses up to 28 different qualities of the pulse. Each of these qualities gives the practitioner information about the state of the patient's health and well-being. We'll discuss a few of the most important qualities. So these are some of the examples. In Chinese medicine, each type of pulse quality relates to Chinese diagnosis as well as particular physical, mental, emotional symptom. So the rate of fast pulse indicates excessive heat in the body. This pulse is often present when there's fever, inflammatory condition, or increased stress on the nervous system. A slow pulse indicates cold condition or could point to a particular body system that functions in an inefficient or sluggish way. This pulse is present when there are problems with blood circulation, cold feet and hands, or the like. So strength is also indicative. A portion of this strong pulse indicates excess of some kind in the body. This pulse is often present with stress, anger, high blood pressure, and headaches. A weak pulse indicates deficiency of some kind in the body. This pulse is often present with fatigue, weakness, insomnia, depression, low blood pressure. All right. So the width, a thin or thready pulse indicates blood deficiency or fluid deficiency. This pulse is often insomnia, fatigue, weakness, nutrient deficiency, suboptimal digestive absorption. For example, one of those typical wide pulses called rolling or slippery pulse. This pulse indicates food stagnation in intestines or buildup of phlegm somewhere in the body. This pulse is often present with a variety of digestive problems and sinus allergy, congestion issues. These and other pulse qualities help us determine what's happening in the body on macro level. The positions of the pulse shows more specifically where these things are happening. So, pulse positions over the past 2,000 years, Chinese physicians have mapped out which pulse positions correlate to which parts of the body. The graphic below shows these specifics. So here's the left wrist, okay? And there's on the very top, on the left side, my right side is the dumai, then below that is the point of the small intestines and the heart, and the gallbladder and liver below that, and right below that the urinary bladder and the kidney. And on the right wrist, on the right side, my left side would thus be the top point here is the renmai. See how the points match up on the sides. So renmai, lung, large intestine, spleen, stomach, and then below that pericardium or sun yao. Okay. So just like with the tongue diagram, you also have this. I will give you this packet again to kind of just go over at home so you can familiarize with yourself, test yourself, because we honestly believe in coming here once for these type of things. Unless you're having a serious problem, then you can kind of self-diagnose. Again, I use that word loosely because it's never really diagnosing yourself unless you visit a medical professional such as yourselves. So, but I will always recommend and refer you to a physician for tougher forms of therapy which are beyond our help. Herbal medicine can only go so far. So, basically, another example, a cause of low back pain. I don't know why they always compare these with back pain. One of the benefits of this diagnosis is the ability to make a differential diagnosis. The type of diagnosis differentiates the cause of a particular symptom, blah, 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 blah. If someone has LB pain, low back pain, back pain could be caused by 2, 3, 4 different factors. This is the last page, I swear. And we're done with the boring part. Differential diagnosis identifies which factors are most likely causing the pain. Let's say a patient has LB pain. They feel the pulse, ask a few questions. If it's sharp, tense, knotted, strong, it's a type of excess. If the pain is dull, weak, they feel drained and tired, it's deficiency, okay? So, you know the differences between the two, deficient and excess. Kind of like yin yang, too much, too little. Balance and harmony of the body needs to be kind of in between at all times, and that's our job to determine. So, depending on DTD, differential diagnosis, they'll select the appropriate points. Herbal medicine formulas, diet, and lifestyle recommendations, again, just like with the tongue. So, how do we as CMs look at stress, Chinese medicine? The pulse can be a great tool for better understanding the connection between body, mind, and lifestyle behaviors. To see how this works, let's take a look at the 2 cases of stress that commonly show up here. So if someone's stressed out, the pulse is strong, especially in liver position. So refer to the diagram where that is. They then ask the patient the following questions. Do you typically experience stress, anger, irritation, frustration frequently, easily? When stressed, do you get headaches? So this is just so you know if I feel something that's different or unusual than what I would expect, which I doubt because from observing your tongue, by the looks of it, you're completely healthy so far. So we're just doing this just to double check and be safe because there's always some underlying conditions that we cannot see on the tongue, or it shows up in other parts of the body like the pulse points and not on the tongue. Sometimes it shows up in your upper back, shoulders, neck, for example, yet again. They're just giving example after example, just like in the last paragraph. Do you tend to feel a lot more relaxed, happy, energized after exercise or after a couple of drinks? So again, exactly the same kind of format. So these symptoms are all related to excessive functioning of the liver and liver meridian. So if someone's stressed and the pulse is weak, especially in the spleen and stomach position, they then ask the patient the following questions. Do you worry a lot or have obsessive or ruminating thoughts? When stressed, do you get stomach issues? Does your stress collect in your stomach and abdomen region? Do you then feel more tired after exercise, sleepy, foggy-headed after a couple of drinks? Again, they're all related to deficient functioning of the spleen, stomach organs, and spleen and stomach meridians. We are done here, okay? I'm just being a tad bit sarcastic because I've done this 8,000 times with people, and sometimes that's the only part of the job that I don't like, but I'm just being honest with you. Okay, let's flip this to the other side for your pulse tag. Alright. So, are you ready for your pulse diagnosis? Alright, give me your left wrist. Thank you. And I'm just going to hold and check. Okay, it's about 15 seconds each. 4 points plus 4 points. Okay. I'm just holding and pressing. And letting go. And I have to pause in between another 15 to 30 seconds to let your blood circulation come back, because if I keep pressing and holding and immediately move on to the next one, we're not going to get an accurate reading, so you can just stretch. I wouldn't do any intense movements because we don't want to purposely increase the heart rate, right? Yeah. Alright. I think we're good, so I can hold and press again. You doing okay? Okay, just breathe deeply and relax. Don't move, just breathe. Don't think about anything, just relax. Alright, and let go. And we wait now. I like to just done today. I'm just gonna go over a couple more things before you go. Scary part is over. Alright. Okay, so you did phenomenal today. I don't even have to mention it twice. So basically, what I wrote down in my observations of you overall was that you appear to have normal functioning pulse and tongue. So pretty simple, straightforward. I did mention a tad bit of yellowing. That could be something indicative of heat, perhaps. I mean, it is pretty warm today, you know, based on how the rest of your tongue looks. But other than that, really, overall in general, I'm not seeing anything at all that should concern me in the slightest bit, shape, or form. I'm not seeing anything worrisome. I'm not seeing anything that would be cause for panic or referral elsewhere. I can give you a recommendation, though, to continue doing what it is you're doing, because if you suddenly are paranoid about that one little small thing that I just saw, like the yellowing, and then you switch it up, I feel like it could cause other issues. So it could just be one of those days. Like I said, you did say you ate some turmeric before you came in. Most likely that's why it's yellow. Your tongue looks just fine. I didn't see any swelling in it. You didn't have any pain and uncomfortable feelings. You hardly gagged when I even stuck the chopstick down there. So it's a great sign of your mouth's health and thus your body's health. In terms of your pulse, I did at the beginning sort of feel a bit of jumpiness, but then I just realized it was just your nerves and jitteriness because I went in a bit maybe too hard with the press. You know, we kind of like to really press like this, like firmly until you see the whites of her nail beds, but it kind of startled you a bit, so I apologize for that. And it did make your heart rate go up a bit, spike, and then kind of drop and level off to normal. That kind of appeared the third time around on the right, but that's because I also that was kind of around when I said, like, I'm not gonna tell you because it will cause your heart rate to spike, and the fact that I said that made it spike. So again, it was just kind of like a test that we do traditionally in our practice to see if you have like a normal healthy response. It's like kind of like an empathy test, you know what I mean? Because people who don't feel empathy will not get that kind of a reaction. They would be indifferent based on what you said. Does that make sense? So as we've seen in the charts of diagnosing the tongue, different colors also mean a lack of empathy. So if you ever want to know, just say, hey, stick your tongue out, and you see that part. Not always, though. You're not a traditional Chinese medicinal doctor, so do not think you can just get away with doing that and making that your life decision based on how people's tongues look. That's very ignorant. Jokes aside, I do thank you for coming in, regardless of whether you had, again, on your clinical form, a lack of problems. It's still wise to come in and see, just as you come in a doctor's office for a basic physical checkup. It's responsible that you come in and care about your health enough to want to know and be curious about your condition as a human being. So remember, you're just a temporary body and you're actually a soul. So your body does not emit an aura. Your aura emits a body. So we're just looking in energy-wise, and that's our Chinese system. How your energy field is, if you're in a high vibration or low vibration, I can tell you you're in a pretty good position right now, vibrationally speaking. My name is Tony. If you ever do come back, just call in and you get 50% off for your second appointment, okay? We will give you one of these chopsticks. Just wash it when you get home. And it is a traditional Chinese wooden chopstick for having someone to self-evaluate on you, or if you would like yourself in the mirror, you just really, it is just kind of a tool to push around your tongue and help see further back. And you have the charts on your packets too. Again, I say this lightly, self-diagnose and check it out yourself. We encourage others to practice homeopathy and natural medicines, try out different herbs and teas, We recommend a ton on our website as well if you go check it out. The link is on the packet on the bottom of every page, along with our email and phone number, okay, and our address. And there are different kind of like quizzes on there, just fun activities you can do and check out and learn more about Chinese medicine and herbs, okay? And we like to bring a little bit of that culture in people's homes to kind of encourage others to learn more about it, and that's how you spread the word, is through word of mouth. So we do have on our shelves, if you go in the front by Sandra, a bunch of little samples of herbs. She can give you 3 samples of different types of herbs. I highly recommend you ask her about that. And if you would like, we also sell packets of them. They're about $5 to $10 each, and they last a whole month if you make tea every day. So there you go. There's your chopstick and your packets. And thank you for coming in. I appreciate you taking the time to learn about this culture and this practice. And we also have blog posts on our website for you to check out, and you can even book the next appointment online. But I would call in for your 50% off just to confirm with our clinic, okay? Yes, Sandra's the one you speak to on the phone. I'm just the doctor here. Again, my name is Tony, so my card's going to be in the front by her. She'll give that to you along with your bill and receipt. And we do, like I said, accept most payments, forms of payments, okay? So we do not provide insurance through our practice, nor do we accept it, as I've stated in the packet. So there you go. If you have any other questions, just ask her, okay? Thank you for allowing me to work on you today, and congratulations to your good health. Alright, it's my pleasure. It's my honor to serve. Oh, thank you very much. Would you like your review to be posted on our website? Okay, how would you like your name addressed? Just as your regular full name, first and last, okay? Alright. Yeah, the review is part of the discount, yeah. Okay. Wait, stick your tongue out. I think I forgot one last thing. No, I'm just joking. Oh, sure, I can show you how to do the pulse at home. Right, so you just get 2 of your fingers like this and firmly grasp, like I said, the first point, which is right here. You'll feel that there's a crevice. Then just right below that, they're usually a centimeter apart. Then just right below that, and then here, just right below that, you see that line? If I curve it, maybe you'll see, yeah, that line. So again, your face pulls out like this. It's the distal side, the side away from the body, not toward the body. Inch. Got it? Yeah, you can try it on our friends and everything, and you'll get a sense, kind of like a felt sense of heat and intensity. Like, let's say, I guess you wouldn't really know unless you had the training experience and the knowledge, but for example, you can press on mine, and you feel mine is a normal pulse, at least that I know right now. So you can compare that feeling. You feel it, yeah. Yeah, don't press too hard, just a little bit gentler. There we go. You can compare that to, let's say, your friends or your own pulse, and kind of but you do have a bit more of a, I should say, lower blood pressure, which is honestly